Hello, royal lovers. I am your host, Zane, and today we're going to dive into a captivating event in the world of royalty. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video with other royal enthusiasts. Our story today begins in the heart of Scotland's capital, Edinburgh. The city recently played host to Prince William, who flew in to attend an Order of the Thistle service as part of the annual Holyrood Week. Now, this year's Holyrood Week was somewhat condensed, primarily due to the national election taking place on Thursday, but also because, quite frankly, the working royals seemed to have a slightly diminished enthusiasm for these activities. The Order of the Thistle service, held at the historic St. Giles Cathedral, was followed by an obligatory portrait session. Now, for those of you who remember last year's rather ghostly portrait from Scotland, you'll be relieved to know that this year they've managed to secure some appropriate lighting. Still, the family portrait with Prince William, his father, stepmother, and uncle was, shall we say, a tad awkward. For those unfamiliar, the Order of the Thistle is essentially Scotland's version of the Order of the Garter, an order of chivalry and prestige complete with weighty velvet robes and chains. This year's service saw two notable inductees into the order, Queen Camilla and Prince Edward. Now, this might seem a little late in coming for Edward, especially considering he received his father's Duke of Edinburgh title last year. The palace assures us this is a 60th birthday gift for Edward, but we can't help but find the timing a bit curious. And Queen Camilla's induction? Well, it's her first, which is quite notable in itself. So, as you can see, this year's Order of the Thistle service was filled with awkward moments, notable honors, and the usual royal pomp and circumstance. But as we'll see, this was just the beginning of an eventful week for the royals. Now, let's shift gears and talk about something a little more controversial. As Prince William's plane touched down in Edinburgh, the city was already buzzing with anticipation. But among the cheers of royal enthusiasts, another, more discordant chorus was rising. The protesters of the Not My King movement had gathered once again, their voices echoing through the city streets. This protest, it appears, was not so much directed at William, but rather his father, Charles. Interestingly, the city had been protest-free in the days leading up to the Order of the Thistle service, the calm before the storm, you could say. But as soon as William arrived, the protesters sprang into action, their chants filling the air with a palpable tension. This isn't the first time we've seen such a display. Flashback to last year's Scottish coronation, where the protest was so loud, it felt like the very walls of the cathedral were reverberating with their chants. The echoes of Not My King clashed with the solemnity of the occasion, creating a surreal juxtaposition that's hard to forget. The Not My King movement is a distinct voice in the ongoing dialogue about the monarchy's relevance and role in today's society. Their message is clear. They question the monarchy's legitimacy and challenge the automatic deference the royals receive. As the protesters see it, the king should be a figure who earns respect through his actions, not his birthright. Yet, amidst all this, the band plays on. As the chants of Not My King rise and fall, the strains of God Save the King can be heard, steady and unyielding. It's a powerful, almost cinematic moment that perfectly encapsulates the struggle between tradition and progress, between the old guard and the new. So, there you have it. A protest that serves as a stark reminder of the deep divisions that exist when it comes to the monarchy. A protest that shows us that, no matter what, the dialogue about the monarchy's place in modern society is far from over. It's quite surreal to hear the chants of Not My King as the band plays God Save the King, isn't it? Let's move on to the next topic of our discussion, which involves Prince Harry. Now, there's been quite a bit of chatter around Harry receiving the Pat Tillman Award for service. Some of you may know Pat Tillman as an American football player who left his professional sports career to enlist in the U.S. Army following the September 11th attacks. His story is one of duty and sacrifice, and the award named after him recognizes the significant contributions of individuals in service to others. But the fact that Prince Harry, who stepped back from his royal duties, was the recipient of this award, has stirred the proverbial pot. Critics argue that Harry's decision to step away from his royal responsibilities disqualifies him from being recognized for service. But let's be clear here. Service isn't about maintaining a title or fulfilling traditional expectations. It's about making a positive impact and improving the lives of others, something that Prince Harry has consistently aimed to do through his various philanthropic efforts. What's more, it's interesting that the very people who criticize Harry for accepting this award are often the same ones who claim that they are the real public servants. And yet, when we look at the royal family, we see a consistent pattern of self-recognition. They're always bestowing awards, titles, honors, and orders upon themselves. It's almost as if they're saying, "Look at us, we're the real heroes here." Yet, isn't there a certain irony here? If service is about selflessness, then why the need for constant self-recognition? Why the need to always be in the spotlight, receiving honors and accolades? In the end, service is about doing good for others, not about self-glorification. And whether you agree with Prince Harry's decisions or not, his commitment to making a positive difference in the world is undeniable. It seems like there's always some controversy or another in the world of royalty, doesn't it? Now, let's talk about another significant event that happened at the Order of the Thistle service. In a move that has raised eyebrows for its timing, Queen Camilla and Prince Edward were both welcomed into the Order of the Thistle. This prestigious accolade is the Scottish equivalent of the Order of the Garter, an order of chivalry that carries considerable weight. Its recipients are required to don heavy velvet robes and chains, a visual testament to the gravity of the honor. Prince Edward's induction comes as somewhat of a surprise, given that he only received his father's title of Duke of Edinburgh last year. This honor, the palace explained, was a gift for Edward's 60th birthday. Yet the timing has sparked whispers of it being a belated acknowledgement for the Duke. More intriguing is the induction of Queen Camilla into the order. Despite her significant contributions to the royal family, she had not received this honor until now. Queen Elizabeth II was known to withhold certain honors from certain royal women. Could this induction indicate a shift in the royal dynamics? Or is it merely a long overdue recognition? The Order of the Thistle service wasn't just about maintaining tradition. It also served as a platform to acknowledge the contributions of some notable members of the royal family. The induction of Edward and Camilla into the order is a testament to their service and commitment to the crown. However, it also raises questions about the timing and the motivations behind these decisions. Are these inductions a sincere recognition of service? Or are they part of a larger strategy to manage public perception? We can only speculate, but one thing is clear. The Order of the Thistle service was not just about traditional rituals, but also about recognizing the contributions of some notable members of the royal family. So it seems that the Order of the Thistle service was not just about traditional rituals, but also about recognizing the contributions of some notable members of the royal family. Well, that's all we have time for today, royal lovers. We've journeyed through a fascinating tapestry of royal events and controversies. We began with the Order of the Thistle service, a prestigious event steeped in tradition and grandeur. The heavy velvet robes and chains, the pomp and circumstance, all hearkening back to a time of chivalry and honor. But beneath the splendor, we uncovered some intriguing undertones. The late induction of Queen Camilla and Prince Edward into the order raised eyebrows, hinting at possible power plays within the royal family. From the grandeur of the Thistle service, we shifted to the streets of Edinburgh, where the "Not My King" protest echoed through the air. The Republican protesters' chants, clashing with the band's rendition of "God Save the King," painted a starkly contrasting picture of the public sentiment towards royalty. This protest wasn't an isolated event, but rather a recurring voice of dissent, a reminder that not everyone views the monarchy through rose-tinted glasses. We also delved into the criticism directed at Prince Harry for receiving the Pat Tillman Award for service. The bitterness present in these criticisms seemed to stem from a deep-rooted belief that the royals are the true public servants, working tirelessly, often without recognition or appreciation. Yet, as we've seen, they're not averse to awarding themselves with titles and honors. This contradiction is something to ponder. Finally, we discussed the induction of Edward and Camilla into the Order of the Thistle. Was it necessary? Or was it another example of the royals awarding themselves? Questions remain, controversies continue, and the royal saga carries on. Thank you everyone for being here with me today. Your presence adds color to these royal narratives. Let's continue this journey together by subscribing and sharing this video. Spark up a conversation in the comments section. Let's hear your thoughts, your opinions. After all, every perspective adds a new dimension to the story. Until next time, I'm your loyal host, Zane.